It began as one of the strangest accidents in modern medicine. A routine vaccine for a painful rash appeared to protect the brain from dementia. Not a supplement, not a wonder drug, but a shingles shot millions of older adults already get. For years it looked too good to be true, easy to wave away as a statistical fluke. Then a quirk of history in Wales turned it into something close to a real experiment. First, what shingles even is, because the whole link runs through the virus behind it. If you had chickenpox as a child, that virus never truly left your body. It hides, dormant, inside your nerves for decades. This is the varicella zoster virus, or VZV. Years later it can wake up and erupt as shingles, a burning, blistering, often agonizing rash. Reactivation grows more common as we age and the immune system slowly weakens. The shingles vaccine is designed to keep that sleeping virus from ever waking up. Now the other half of the story, dementia, one of the great challenges of our time. Worldwide, more than 57 million people live with dementia, with nearly 10 million new cases each year. Alzheimer's disease makes up the majority of cases, and there is still no cure. So any hint of prevention, from something we already do, is worth examining very carefully. Which brings us to Wales, and a rule that accidentally split people into two groups. When the vaccine rolled out, eligibility was set purely by your exact date of birth. Anyone born before the 2nd of September, 1933, was ineligible, and stayed ineligible for life. Anyone born just after that date could get the vaccine for free. So two people born a single week apart faced completely different odds of being vaccinated. Among those just 1 week too old, almost nobody got the shot. Among those 1 week younger, 4 to 7% did. A sharp, almost random dividing line. Apart from that birthday, the two groups were nearly identical in every way that matters. Researchers followed more than 280,000 adults for 7 years. Over that time, about 35,000 of them were newly diagnosed with dementia. The eligible group had noticeably fewer new diagnoses than those just above the age cutoff. Once they accounted for the fact that fewer than half actually got vaccinated, the effect grew. Getting the shot was linked to a 3.5 percentage point drop in new dementia. In relative terms, that is roughly a 20% reduction across those 7 years. Because it leaned on that birthday cutoff, this design is far stronger than a typical record study. It cannot rule out chance entirely, but ordinary hidden bias becomes a much weaker explanation. Curiously, the protection looked stronger in women than in men, a pattern nobody fully understands yet. Then the very same researchers found something even stranger. Among people who already had dementia, those vaccinated were less likely to die from it. That hints the disease may have progressed more slowly, not just started later. A separate line of research then looked at the newer recombinant shingles vaccine. In large health records, it was tied to about 20% lower dementia risk over the following years. One analysis estimated an extra 164 days lived free of a dementia diagnosis. And the newer vaccine appeared to protect somewhat more than the older, live one. Several independent teams, on different continents, keep landing on the same direction of effect. But why on earth would a shot for a skin rash touch the brain? There are two leading ideas, and they might well both be true. The first is specific. Stopping VZV from reactivating protects the brain directly. When the virus wakes up, it can inflame and damage the small arteries feeding the brain. Infected cells have also been shown to churn out the same amyloid proteins seen in Alzheimer's. VZV may even stir a second sleeping virus, herpes simplex, long suspected in dementia. The second idea is broader. The vaccine trains the immune system in a helpful, general way. Some ingredients that boost vaccines, called adjuvants, are themselves linked to lower dementia rates. Less chronic inflammation in the brain could slow the damage that builds toward dementia over decades. Now the essential caveats, because this is genuinely exciting but not yet settled. None of these studies is a randomized controlled trial, still the gold standard for proof. The Welsh design is unusually strong, but it is still a natural experiment, not a true trial. The recombinant vaccine findings are associations, which can be nudged by hidden differences between people. No health authority yet recommends the shingles vaccine specifically to prevent dementia. And it clearly does not prevent every case. The effect is real, but only partial. What we can say is that the signal is consistent, biologically plausible, and hard to ignore. So here is the honest bottom line on shingles vaccines and the brain. The vaccine already has a clear, approved job, preventing a nasty, sometimes dangerous rash. A possible bonus for the brain, if confirmed, would be an extraordinary 2-for-1. Formal trials are now underway to test whether this protection is truly cause and effect. If you are in the eligible age group, the decision is a conversation with your doctor. This is general education, not medical advice, and not a reason to demand any specific shot. For now, a painful old virus, a routine vaccine, and one of medicine's most hopeful accidents. Follow for evidence-based health, explained. A new video every day.